conversations, real life situations, all of that good stuff. Tonight's topic, we are gonna be talking about. Oh, wait a minute! Before we get into tonight's topic, right? Today is 9/21, right? This is our 21st episode, and the title of the show is the 21 questions you should ask before having sex, right? So it's 21, 21, 21. You know what I'm saying? Triple entendre, you know what I'm saying? Kind of how we do things here, you know what I'm saying? Things are always well thought out and executed, at least we try. Um, as always, we're going to wrap up tonight with another Ask Uptown segment. Like I said, we got the 21 questions you should ask before having sex on 9/21, and this is episode 21. How dope is that? So we're going to wait a few minutes and see who is going to join us here for tonight's discussion, and then we're going to get right into it. As always, got a cup, got a bev, doing what I do, relaxing. It's Wednesday, it's hump day. Hopefully, after you watch me, you go hump something. Ask these questions, before you go humping something. Or if you humping somebody that you already been humping, hopefully you ask these questions already. If you didn't, maybe you might want to go back. I mean, it's before you had sex, so if you already humping them, maybe it's probably too late. But if you just want to have some engaging conversation with whomever you are having adult fun time with, then have some conversation. Listen, if you can't have some stimulating conversation with the person that you are having adult fun time with, then you shouldn't be having adult fun time with them. And if you don't know what I mean by adult fun time, then maybe you too young to be watching this program. You're um, so, like I said, tonight's topic is the 21 questions you should ask before having sex. And none of this is in any particular order. It's just questions that I came up with that I think, oh, appreciate you, nice bucket. I appreciate that, Dilly. Um, I think that these are just questions that the research team over here at Uptown After Dark that we came up with, just to for fun and shits and giggles. But obviously, we want people to be out there having sex responsibly, especially since according to the CDC, the rate of STDs is going up throughout the country, right? So you might actually want to get into asking a new potential suitor, partner, whatever word you want to use for it. You might want to get to asking them these questions before engaging in adult fun time, otherwise known as SEX, right? Um, because based on the answers to these questions, you might decide to proceed or decide to fall the fuck back. And if you a dude, you go back and you grab the jerkins, or if you're a lady, you just go back home and grab your rose. And you like F this. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like the way he answered that question. He was gonna get some, but now, uh, you know how y'all ladies do. Y'all get real fickle. You know what I'm saying? Listen, y'all could be nice and ready and shaved and moist, and next thing you know, dude, he done said the wrong thing, and he was gonna get some. Damn, stupid motherfucker. To be telling dude, stop talking yourself out of vagina. Don't do it. Anyway, so according to the research team here at Uptown After Dark, they thought, when I came up with this first question, that I was playing, but I was dead serious. What's your last name? Listen, I think sometimes people, especially in the era of meeting someone online, you get to having conversation, you get to exchange in social media. You might exchange everything but last name before you exchange intercourse, right? So I think, you know, uh, especially if it's a drunken night and the potential there for a baby, maybe the condom breaks, but know the motherfucker last name so at least you could track him or her down if they give you some shit, right? I think that, and I'm not playing, like, it sounds like I'm joking, but know the person's last name. You know what I'm saying? People do out here, especially in the world where people have casual sex. And if you want to know about casual sex, you could go to RTI episode. I believe it was 6. We talked about, is casual sex a thing, right? And listen, because casual sex is kind of still a thing, people might casually be having sex without knowing a motherfucker's last name. So know the person's last name. That's the first question. Uh, if you care, right? You might want to know their dating status, whether they are single, whether they are in a relationship, whether they are married, separated. If you care, that's a good question to ask. If you don't care and you just trying to have fun, then it is what it is. But for those who care, ask the question. Another question you might want to ask is, on a serious note, when's the last time that they have been tested for STD? I'm from the era where we call them STDs. They are now referred to as STIs, sexually transmitted infections. And then there is also HIV, right? Um, I think if you care, right, you should ask the question. I mean, because if you feel like you don't care because you're going to use protection anyway, then maybe you don't ask the question. But if you care to know, you know, um, just also understand that there is a margin of error, for lack of a better word, that there's the potential that the person that you are engaging with might be misleading you. But I think it's better to ask the question or ask these questions than to not ask these questions. So that way, if something comes out in the future, the person could never look you and be like, well, you ain't asked me that, right? That's really the purpose of asking these questions, right? So that way, it's a layer of protection for yourself. So that way, if the person comes out and you find out that there was some misleading information, they told a fib, you know, at least the person can never look at you, well, you ain't asked me that. You ain't asked me when the last time I got tested, so I ain't tell you. You ain't asked me if I was single, so I ain't tell you. You know what I'm saying? You ain't asked me my last name, so I just told you it was Johnson Smith, right? So listen, if a person is about to get in your box, or you about to get in a chick's box, uh, or however you want to do it, because these questions are not just for the heteros, it's for everybody, right? Um, Ask the questions, get the answers, and figure it out. So the follow up question: so when's the last time you've been tested for STI? Is that, have you ever been positive? Because there are some things that are treatable. So maybe in their past they tested positive, they got treated, and they Gucci now, right? General rule of thumb, right? Any sexually transmitted disease, infection, um, if it starts with an H, meaning HIV or hepatitis or herpes, anything that starts with an H, the H stands for you have that motherfucker for the rest of your life. So I don't know if you knew that, but do your research, do your Googles. Um, all of the, it's just coincidence. Like, I'm just being funny, but coincidentally, like, all of these sexually transmitted infections that start with an H, you have them for the rest of your life. Um, so that's just something. HPV, that's also on the list, right? If you HPV, HIV, herpes, you have it for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? So just know that. Another question you might want to ask: have you ever had sex with someone of the same sex? Right now, for men, this ain't really an issue, right? Because if a dude meets a woman and he tells her, she tells him rather, I've been having sex with nothing but women for the last 3 years. Not only is he probably going to be extremely unbothered, right? But in his mind, he's probably saying to himself, if he finessed this right, he might be able to get a threesome out the situation, right? But you flip that the other way around, right? I'm pretty sure there are a lot of women who probably would say that dealing with a man who has had sex with another man, that's probably going to be a hard no for them. Although there are some women who are open minded and progressive, and they don't mind, because they feel like a man's past is his past. For those of you who are progressive in that way, you know what I'm saying? Salute to you. For those who aren't progressive, that is salute to you too, right? Because it is your choice to decide how you want to engage, and if you don't want to engage based on hearing something of a person's history that you find to be questionable, for lack of a better word, or something that just is contentious and just doesn't sit well with you. You are well within your right, the same way I'm well within my right to say, I like women with fat butts, and women are well within their right to say they don't want to date dudes who are 5'3". Everybody has the right to their preference. Anyway, moving along. Um, Another good question: are you currently practicing celibacy? Because if a person is practicing celibacy, um, you may say, you know what, I ain't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? Or you might tell her, well, she since you celibate, how much? I buy a bit. Oh, that went over your head. Okay, never mind. Um, another question is, what are your sexual boundaries, right? And that's a good question, right? Because uh, you never want to make someone that you're engaging with feel uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? So asking a question about boundaries is a great way to kind of have a baseline of knowing how far you can or cannot go. Is exactly what it is. It's finding out your boundaries, right? Because for some women, choking, you know, may be perfectly fine. I mean, listen, I told y'all before, I don't remember what episode it was, but, I choked a woman once till she passed out. Not proud of it, but I wasn't trying to make her pass out. But, for another woman, that might be a boundary because maybe she came out of a domestic violence situation and she doesn't want a man to be aggressive with her, right? Or same way for a dude, right? A woman asks a guy what is his boundaries, and she's just like, yo, uh, don't stick your finger in me bum hole, because he ain't into that, right? But I think that asking questions about boundaries is a great way to make sure that you can make your experience enjoyable without accidentally triggering someone based upon traumas that you may not be aware of. That's all I'm saying. Um, Another question you might want to ask: have you ever had any bad experiences during sex? Because and bad is subjective, right? Because it could have been bad because it was over quick. It could have been bad because there was nervousness and awkwardness. But if there was like something like really bad, like the person you was with was really, really creepy or really, really pervy or did some wild out of the way shit, maybe you might want to know because maybe you into the wild out of the way shit and you want to just check the temperature. Sometimes a lot of these questions is just about checking the temperature to make sure that, things are right and ready before you engage in the adult fun time. Um, Another great question, right? What sort of contraceptives do you like? For those of you who don't know what contraceptives are, we talk about uh, condoms and birth control, right? Not the pull-out method, not the rhythm method. That is not effective methods of contraception. We talk about condoms. You know what I'm saying? Listen, shout out to Lady Latex. She will tell you, you know what I'm saying, that latex is the way to go. Shout out to my brother Captain Condom. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna also tell you that condoms are the way to go. But there are some women out there who are allergic to uh, latex. You know what I'm saying? And you know, find out what whether you got to use the sheepskin, the lambskin, the rhythm method. You don't know what the rhythm method is when you are having unprotected sex and the woman will either allow you to have a green light or a red light to uh, arrive inside her based upon her knowledge of her menstrual cycle. That's what the rhythm method is. Yeah, I like how I did that, right? I said arrive inside her. I sound so smart. Yeah, yeah, I like that. I know. Um, Now, another question. This is gonna be controversial. Um, what's your body count? Now, I'm gonna tell you, body count is irrelevant because whatever happens before you was before you. But there are some people that want to know. Like I saw this video on Instagram the other day where there was a woman out there that said that her body count was somewhere around 2,000, right? Some people might hear that and be like, hell no, I ain't messing with this broad. And then some person might be like, well, I'm kind of intrigued. I want to see what it is. I think that if you really want to know, you ask. If you don't care, then you don't ask. You know what I'm saying? But it's really, I know 2,000, right? That's a high number, right? But you know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, for those who want to know, you ask. For those who don't want to know, you don't ask. It's as simple as that, right? Don't overcomplicate it. Don't overthink it. Another great question to ask. Are you currently engaging with sexual activity with someone else, right? Because sometimes we don't ask these questions and it might be relevant, right? You know what I'm saying? Because it may just help you decide whether you want to engage or not, right? You know what I'm saying? Or the person could tell you, well, actually, I am actively involved with a few other people, right? And then they could say, but I'm using protection. I'm protecting myself. But to be honest with you, I am, because there is a new thing out there. People are practicing what is called consensual non monogamy, right? So for a person who is practicing consensual non monogamy, they may actually actively be having sex with multiple people. And if you it's better just to ask these questions before you engage so that way, you know what I'm saying, you don't get your feelings hurt later when you find out and the person always hits you with the, well, you ain't asked. Listen, if you give a person the opportunity, they always gonna hit you with it, but you ain't never asked. So I ain't say nothing. I'm telling you. Ask the questions. 21 questions, trust me. Save this episode, share it with other people that are, who are single and dating, because the dating pool sucks right now. And if you're trying to, have a better outcome, maybe asking these questions may help you through your process. So I advise you to, you know, sh- watch it again, save it, share it, you know what I'm saying, and make sure that you never know, you might help a friend, you know what I'm saying? Um, what kind of relationship this is, right? because it could be a situationship, it could be a penetration ship, right? Or it could be uh something that y'all working and building on, trying to get to a relationship, right? But know what type of ship you on. You know what I'm saying? So that way you could know what the X's and the life rafts are. Know what type of ship you on. You know what I'm saying? You know, it could be a friendship with benefits ship. Know whatever ship you on, know what type of ship you on. So there's nothing wrong with asking the question, you know what I'm saying? Cause if you wanna engage, right? If the person tells you that, well, we're not in a relationship, we just, if you still gonna engage, you're gonna engage regardless. I mean, there are those who only engage with people that they are in relationships with, or people that they feel like they are heading towards the lane of relationshipville with, but you won't know if you don't ask. And if you don't ask, like I told you, a person gonna always hit you, but you ain't never asked, so I ain't never say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Ask the questions. Um, what are you into sexually, right? So whether that's oral, anal, role play, threesomes, find out what the person's into, right? Because long term, that will help you to assess whether you guys are compatible sexually. Because there are some people who, and I talked about this on episode 5, love language versus sex language. There are some people who, in the process of courting and get to knowing someone, their love languages could align perfectly, but their sex languages may not align at all, right? And then that's where you hit a fork in the road. That's where you hit a crossroads. Um, so asking these questions, especially early, can help you avoid engaging with somebody where you know that your sex languages are not aligned. Because if you're just simple and basic and you just like, oh well, I just like missionary and I like back shots, and the other person is into BDSM and they into role play and they like person to spit in their mouth. I don't know why I always keep talking about spit in their mouth. But anyway, if the person is into these things and you are not, right? You may decide, I don't want to engage with this person because our sex languages are not compatible. Our sex, compatibility is off, and you don't want to engage because long term it's not going to be something that's work. Now, if you open minded and you're trying to try some new shit, then by all means, get it popping. I encourage it. Life is too short for boring sex. And if you remember, life is too short for boring sex, uptownafterdark.com. You can go buy a t-shirt that says life is too short for boring sex. But I digress. You know what I'm saying? Figure out if you and the person, if your sex languages are in alignment. Um, Next question. Uh, what are your sexual turn-ons and turn-offs? But especially turn-offs, right? Because there might be a dude, who thinking, he's trying to be on his smooth R&B shit, and he's trying to, rub you down, and he decide he want to suck your toes, and you ain't in there to get your soul sucked, right? But he thought he was trying to show you something you ain't never seen before. You know what I'm saying? So he just went and he pulled out a packet of honey barbecue sauce from McDonald's. He whipped out that McDonald's sweet and sour sauce, poured it all over your toes, and got the slurping. And you was like, nigga, what you doing? Yep. Find out. I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. You know, got that sweet heat from Popeyes. You know what I'm saying? So sweet heat is a good sauce, but not for toast. Um, how do you like to be handled, right? So how do you like to be handled is still all of this is in the vein of trying to assess compatibility, right? Because there are some women who just want it extra gentle and passionate all the time. And then there's some women who like it rough, and there are some women who like a combination of the the three, right? And there's some, even with a guy, right? There's some dudes who like the head extra sloppy. There's some dudes who like that old good old two hand twist. Ain't nothing like a two hand twist, boy. And then there are some dudes who, you know what I'm saying, I've never met any of these dudes, but apparently there's some dudes who don't like getting their dick sucked. Listen, I don't believe it. I think gay or straight men like getting their dick sucked, but I'm just saying, I ain't never met any of these brothers who don't like getting their dick sucked, but apparently they exist somewhere. They in some, uh, I don't like my good dick sucked colony next to the Amish. Anyway, uh, what's your favorite position? Um, Now, I'm gonna tell you, I think that question is very subjective, right? Because you could be with one person, and that favorite position could be from the back, and then you could be with another person, and that favorite position be, that old good old from the side lazy shit. What up, Lexi? I see you. Shout out to Sweatpants and Coffee Chat. You know what I'm saying? They in the building. What up, Lexi? But you know, I think favorite position is subjective, right? When you get with the person and you get a chance to learn their body and learn what they like and what they don't like and learn which I like cohesively together, your favorite position with that person can be different from what your favorite position was with another person, which is why sometimes you got to ask these questions just so you can get a chance to get a little intel and learn the person and figure out their likes and their dislikes. Um, let's see. Next question. How long do you wait before engaging sexually, right? Um, Now, this is a very controversial question because there's a guy that I really love, guy that I really admire. His name is Stephen Harvey. Um, he once upon a time told women that they should wait 3 months. He said, just like if you was at a job, you gotta wait 3 months for your benefits. If he wants the benefits of getting a coochie, he should wait 3 months. Um, I'll say this, right? I think that, and ladies, this is specifically for y'all, right? Um, if a guy is willing to wait 3 months, more often than not, the reason that he is waiting is because during that 3 month period, or 5 month period, or 6 month period, or whatever, maybe she says she's celibate and she wanna. Somebody said, "Who the hell is waiting 3 months?" We gonna address this 3 months thing, right? Now, if a brother's willing to wait 3 months, 6 months, or wait through your celibacy, just understand that one of the reasons why he might not be pressing you and be willing to wait is because he already has something lined up that he's knocking down. So he doesn't care. He ain't pressed because, listen, he'll wait because he's already getting that itch scratched, right? Now, I think that if you guys have not had questions about exclusivity and uh, what your preferences are during this 3 month waiting period, if you find out, you know what I'm saying, 2.5 months in that he was knocking down Sheila from accounting the whole time, I don't think you should be that upset. I think that, if your personal journey was to wait 3 months or your personal journey was to abstain, you should not expect the man that you are dating to be on the same personal journey as you unless you guys discuss that from the gate, which is part of the reason why you should ask this question. That's all I'm saying. Have sex responsibly. We're gonna, episode is called 21 questions before that you should ask before having sex, but this is really the responsible sex episode. I want everybody to start off at least starting off having sex responsibly and asking these questions so you can attempt to have sex responsibly. That's all I'm saying. Um, Next question: are you a giver or a receiver? Listen, there are some dudes who, you know, especially some of the Caribbean men, they will tell you that they don't eat no poom poom. They said their mother tell them that they can't eat nothing that can't cook or fry, and I mean, a lot of the Caribbean women say that these brothers be lying anyway, that they be eating the poom. See, there you go. See, I've met some men who said that they don't eat it, and I mean, ain't nothing to be embarrassed about. So I don't know why they would lie to me. If I work with a lot of Caribbean men, a lot of these Caribbean men will straight say that they don't eat no coochie. They bugging. When an American man steal a woman, I hope they ain't mad. That's all I'm saying. Um, but knowing whether the person that you with is a giver or receiver is a good indicator of whether they are a selfish lover or a selfless lover, right? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the executioner for giving me that little nugget right there. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's a good way to figure out why, like I said, whether they're selfish or selfless. So, ask them. They give it a receiver. Ask them they want serpent jelly. Next question. What's their living situation, right? So, living situation is important because I mean, that lets you know whether they coming back to your place, you coming back to their place, or maybe y'all going to a telly, right? Um, and hotel, not motel, right? You know what I'm saying? Even though there's nothing wrong with a short stay, right? But I don't think you want to make your first encounter with someone, and because these are the 21 questions that you should ask before sex. You know what I'm saying? If unavoidable, right? You don't want to make your first encounter at a short stay. But if it does, listen, shit happens. You can have a lot of good fun at a short stay, so don't knock them. You know what I'm saying? And if you need help with that, we talked about this before. You could use the Day Use app. Day Use, you know what I'm saying? Day Use need to give me a sponsorship check or something. We've been shouting out Day Use on a couple of episodes. You know what I'm saying? I think they need to look into that. Day Use need to be a sponsor of Uptown After Dark. I'm saying anybody who knows anything about sponsorship, let me know if I think Day Use should give me a check. You know what I'm saying? Um, Next question. And this one is specifically for the ladies. Um, you might want to ask for that photo. You might want to see what he working with, right? And if you refer back to episode 4 of Upside After Dark, how to properly send nudes, right? Um, you don't want to wait till you get back to his place, your place, or the telly, since we just talked about living situation, right? We want to tie all of this in together, right? Um, you may not want to wait until you get there to figure out that he working with a chicken nugget. You know what I'm saying? You might want to know beforehand. Now, is there a possibility that he might dick fish you and send you a pic that is not his? Yes, that is a possibility, right? But listen, you might, if you already decided in your head, you know what I'm saying, you feel a homeboy, y'all done went out on a couple dates, you ready to, what I'm saying, bust that thing up open for him. If you already decided you want to give it to him anyway, ask for the pic. Be like, yo, let me see that lamb meat. Let me see that kielbasa. Let me see that Subway foot long. Or do you got the foot long or do you got the 6 inch? Find out. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, that might you see the pic, that might stop you. You might be like, hey, wait a minute, buddy. You gotta pump your brakes here. You know what I'm saying? You know. I thought you was working with a monster. Look like one of the monsters from Monsters Inc. You're not the scary one. You know what I'm saying? You Mike Wazowski. You know what I'm saying? I got kids. That was a Monster Inc. reference. That was horrible. I should not be tying Monsters Inc. and sex. So I'm sorry. I got children. It is what it is. But like I said, ladies, you might want to see what the brothers working with. Fellas too. Listen, if you want to see what her boobies look like, if you want to see, you know what I'm saying, her fupa, if you want to see, you know what I'm saying, what her booty look like, ask her to send you some pics too. Tell her don't be shy. Let me see what you got. Let me see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And ladies, y'all better, you know what I'm saying, send him the accurate. Matter of fact, get on a FaceTime. Get on the FaceTime, you know what I'm saying? So that way you can see if, she looking like Jessica Rabbit or she looking like Guru from Minions. Her shit is just straight up and down. You know what I'm saying? Whether she got the Jessica Rabbit shape or whether she looking like Guru from Minions, right? Get her on FaceTime, see what she working with, let her see what she working with, even exchange. No harm, no foul. That way ain't nobody got no pics, ain't no evidence. Y'all just did a FaceTime. That's the new wave. FaceTime each other naked. That way, ain't no evidence trail, ain't no pics. You know what I'm saying? I started it. FaceTime each other naked. There you go. Next question. Uh, how do you feel about sex toys? Um, listen, a lot of women have been scaring men with this rose. Um, and then, I heard that women, you know what I'm saying, are getting scared. Oh, I saw somebody put up 2 rows of emojis. God damn it. And then, the guys, they got the Gawk 2000. You know what I'm saying? Um, and these are all wonderful accessories that, you guys could use together. You know what I'm saying? There doesn't have to be division between the roses and the gawks, right? You know what I'm saying? You guys could come together and have great sexual bliss. But before you get to the sexual bliss, ask the person how they feel about toys, because there might be brothers who are intimidated by the rose because the rose has been dominating most of 2022. Um, Women are just out here, you know what I'm saying, leaving all type of, sheets wet and, you know, I heard stories about women, using the rose and then they started crying afterwards. You know what I'm saying? These women are having emotional relationships with their roses. You know what I'm saying? Um, so ask how the person feels about sex toys. That's all I'm saying. Get an understanding of what's going on before you engage. Um, and the last question. This is been 21 questions. The 21 questions you should ask before engaging in adult fun time, aka sex, aka knocking the boots. That's a Martin reference for those of y'all old enough to know. Um, how is your sex drive? Um, which is important, right? Because I am a man that I'm in my 40s, my early 40s. Um, and one of the things that I have realized is that you know, uh, a man and a woman's sex drive is a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Um, Women in their 40s, their sex drive is very high. Um, Men in their 40s, the sex drive starts to decline. Um, and then, when your sex drive starts to decline and you feel like you got to keep up, sometimes you got to use enhancers, right? They got, I wish I had it with me. They got this Royal Honey, and then they got this, you know, shout out to Pink Horsepower. These things, what I'm saying, I hear work very well. You know what I'm saying? But for the fellas, if you need it, fuck it, right? You know what I'm saying? This is a performance-based job, knocking the coochie down, right? So I think, you know what I'm saying, as long as you are performing, I don't think, this is not like the Olympics, right? You're not gonna get disqualified for using performance enhancers. You know what I'm saying? And if any woman decides that she wants to not fuck with you because you're using performance enhancers, she's a fucking asshole anyway. You don't need her. You don't need her. Don't let you listen, right? You not telling her, you know what I'm saying, that she can't rock her hair natural and wear a wig. That's a hair enhancer, right? So if you want to use a performance enhancer, you do what you got to do, brother. God damn it. But I hope you enjoyed that. You know, that was the 21 episode. We about to get into this Axe Uptown. Get into this Axe Uptown segment. Um, I don't know. Y'all gotta let me know in the comments. Do y'all like when I give advice to these people that need advice because they got a situation that is in shambles, and they found me of all people to help them out? I mean, I be trying. You know what I'm saying? I think sometimes I do all right. You know what I'm saying? But let me know in the comments, am I doing all right with giving people this advice? Anyway, we about to jump into this Axe Uptown real quick. Dear Uptown, me and my male best friend recently crossed the line and had sex. Ooh, I want to stop right there. That's so engaging. But, I want to read it through and then we're going to go dissect it. All right. Me and my male best friend just recently crossed the line and had sex. We were hanging out at his place and drinks were flowing as usual. But this time around, the vibe was different and we went for it. Long story short, the sex was bomb and I can't stop thinking about it. However, after we were done, we both acted like nothing happened, and it's been a few days since we had a conversation. It's just been texts here and there. Should I reach out to him and have a conversation about it, or should I let things go back to normal? Um, I'm gonna dissect this line by line, but I think I'm gonna go backwards this time. Should I have a conversation or let things go back to normal? Shit will never be back to normal, sis. Sorry. If you think things are going back to normal, congratulations, you played yourself. Now y'all can front like things are go back to normal, but it's always gonna be an elephant in the room with his dick out. That part, right? It's just been text messages here and there. I'm dissecting the email, but this time I'm going in reverse. It's just been text messages here and there. I mean, listen, it's something, right? I think if it wasn't for the friendship, it might have just been a ghosting. So the fact that you got text messages here and there, we gonna stay positive about this. You know what I'm saying? Shit is going all right. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. However, if y'all both act like nothing happened, then then y'all both was acting like y'all both kind of fronting a little bit, right? One of y'all has to be brave and decide to, you know what I'm saying, reach out on a limb, you know what I'm saying, and or extend the olive branch and decide to engage in conversation. Otherwise, y'all both gonna continue fronting like it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? Until what's probably gonna happen the next time y'all out collectively, and then one of y'all see someone flirting and then getting their feelings because y'all thought y'all was gonna possibly be going home with each other that night. So y'all better have a conversation and button it up real quick. You said the sex was bomb. So since the sex was bomb, that's why we gotta defer back to what I said in the beginning, meaning that shit ain't never gonna be back to normal. Cause you gonna be thinking about that dingaling. You're gonna think about how he laid that pipe, and it's gonna be on your mind. You know what I'm saying? Now I don't know if both of y'all are single or both of y'all are, that the email doesn't say, but if both of y'all are single and you have been dick deficient, it's no way that, you know what I'm saying, you just got some bomb ass dick and you gonna act like you ain't think about it. Same thing with him, right? If he's single, if he just got some bomb coochie, like he gonna be thinking about it. Like he listen, all y'all need to do is get drunk again. I would recommend do say a Casamigos. And have at it. Why not? No, that's not really my advice. Um, y'all been hanging out. I think if y'all hanging out at the crib and drinks is flowing as usual, I think that clearly what happened is, let's say, I don't know, the email doesn't say there were other people there, right? And then the other people left, and then y'all just happen to be there alone. This will definitely be uh repeat offense if y'all hanging out again and y'all you let everybody leave and y'all there alone. It will happen again. So if you are want to set some boundaries, when everybody leave, you need to get your ass up and leave with them. Don't stay at his crib there alone after you done had, you know what I'm saying, some Henny or some fucking Patron or whatever alcohol makes your vagina moist, and decides you want to stay there and think that it's not gonna happen again. After it will definitely go down again. Um, y'all are friends, right? Y'all said y'all crossed the line. I think that there's potential if y'all both are single, because like I said, the emails doesn't say. Because y'all already have a friendship established, there is potential for y'all to turn this into something, right? But I think first and foremost, I would say that if you value the friendship, that should be the priority. Not having sex, not getting a nut, not you like prioritize the friendship first, make the friendship the main priority. And if you guys decide that you guys want to invest in continuing to go further that at shot and bumped uglies, then fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Give it a shot. If you think that the friendship is too important and you are scared to risk it and scared that if things don't work out in a positive way, that the friendship could dissolve forever. Someone said that's if he's still interested. I mean, I bet you he's still interested in getting that Gucci again. So, especially, well, that she said it was bomb. He might have just thought it was alright. That part, right? So there definitely needs to be a conversation had to figure out whether you guys are on the same page. And once you establish what pages you guys are on individually, that can help you guys to get back on the same page collectively, whether the same page collectively is y'all going back to being friends, or whether the same page collectively is going back to continuing with this extended sexual component added to your friendship, right? But I think that yeah, because she's the one writing it. She said it was bomb. He might have just thought it was alright. I'm saying it was something to do. I'm saying, it was cool. I'm saying, she need to work on her technique. Check my technique. But he might agree. He might have thought it was bomb too. You know what I'm saying? You know. But I just think this is a communication issue. You got to find out what page you're on. You got to figure out what page he's on, and then hopefully you guys are gonna have honest conversation with each other, and things will work out. I am your host, Uptown Brown. This is Uptown After Dark. Tonight's episode 21. The 21 questions you should ask before having sex. Um, I hope this was helpful to some of you guys. The dating pool kind of sucks. You know what I'm saying? So, hopefully these questions will help, work things out for y'all. So, a message to everybody that can hear the sound of my voice right now. So, this is episode 21 of Uptown After Dark. We have had a milestone. We had our 1 year anniversary. Was last week, Friday. Celebrated 1 year since the first episode of Uptown After Dark. We started out doing this show once a month, and based upon the popularity and the demand for the show, we increased it to twice a month, and it's been great. We want to continue to make it great for you guys. So, in order to develop new content, and I want to do more collabs with people, and I want to, what I'm saying, just give you guys the best representation of myself and all the hard work that was put into this. I'm going to take a break so that way I can work on some content and develop some things, and just make sure that when I come back, I'm giving you guys the best version of me. So, this is going to be the last episode. I'm gonna come back in like November, so it's probably gonna be like a month and a half, right? We're in mid uh September right now. Well, kind of like the end of September. You know what I'm saying? What's today? 22nd, 21st, 22nd, 21st. Yeah, 21, right? Um we're gonna come back sometime in November, maybe early November, maybe mid November around my birthday. My birthday's November 19th. But the plan is to take a break so that way we can grow and develop this show properly, and continue to give you guys not only the best content that we've been giving you guys, but we want to elevate it and take it to the next level. So that is the plan. I appreciate everyone who has been rocking out with me throughout this year. We definitely have more great things to come, and I will see you guys in November. I mean, I'll probably, on the Uptown After Dark Instagram page, uh, drop videos here and there, letting you know when we're gonna come back. I might do little short videos for you guys, just to keep you guys engaged. But the plan is to take a little break, take a little hiatus, work on some things, and then come back and hit y'all hard with it, the same way Homeboy was hitting her hard with it. That's why she said the sex was amazing. You know what I'm saying? That part. So as I always say, you know, one, life is too short for boring sex. Two, either you can live or you can be living. It is your choice. Peace. Good night. I will see y'all back in November. Love y'all.